Welcome to Mary Immaculate College here in Limerick. It is the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup quarter-final between Mary I and the Cork Institute of Technology. With me for this one is All-Ireland winner with Limerick and player with UCD in the Fitzgibbon Cup this season, Seamus Flanagan. Seamus, I know it's a dark day, but it's still a good day for hurling. There's a light breeze, the rain for the moment is holding off, and the pitch, you've had a walk on it, is in really good condition.
Yeah, I just walked the pitch there before I came on. Pitch is holding up well. You know, it's very dry under the foot. Small bit of breeze going down into the opposite end. But you know, it's good hurling conditions, and you know, have looked through the teams, and both teams are looking very, very strong. A lot of inter-county experience on both teams, so it's shaping up for a very, very good game.
Yeah, we'll get into the teams themselves in a few minutes, but there's a nice atmosphere building here, isn't there?
There is. You know, Mary I always brings out a crowd. You know, it's a very small, kind of close-knit college, and it always brings out good crowds for the Fitzgibbon Cup. Obviously, there's a few CIT boys coming down as well. You know, teams are both out warming up as it is, but always down in Mary I, there's always a good crowd here.
And maybe the fact that it isn't a giant-sized college, maybe the fact that it is quite small, that actually sometimes comes into their favour.
100%. You know, above in UCD now, on my own experience, you know, a lot of people in the college wouldn't hear about the Fitzgibbon Cup games, whereas I suppose they don't have a football team down here in Mary I. It's all hurling and it's all Fitzgibbon, so I think that does bring out the students here, and everyone always comes down. You know, balconies up above us are filling up nicely, and down pitch side as well at the same time.
You mentioned hurling here in Mary I. It's been the home of some hurling legends, including Leonard Enright, who was very much involved here in coaching and around the college. He obviously sadly passed away late last year, actually on the night of the All-Stars, when so many Limerick men were awarded prizes, and Cian Lynch was named Hurler of the Year. Noreen Lynch, also well known in coaching circles around Limerick and very much a driver of GA here in the college. It would be fitting if Mary I were to pull off something special this year, wouldn't it?
It would, and you know, so many legends like that. You spoke about Leonard Enright there, but even, you know, the likes of Jamie Wall here, who has been involved with the college for so long, Eamon Cregan as well. You know, there's legends gone before them, and there really is a tradition down here in Mary I for teams to go that bit extra. And I think they're here today in Mary I, bringing out a strong team again, and they'll be a tough force to beat here tonight down in Mary I.
It must be strange to be in Dublin when all this Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup activity is going on in Limerick, with LIT and Mary I still chasing it, and UL of course winning it last year. And a bit of a shock to see them go out in the first round, but they are gone. Still a lot of Limerick interest though. There
is huge. You know, LIT I think are playing today again against NUIG and Mary I here this evening. You know, there's a lot of Limerick interest here today. A lot of people, you know, who would be featuring on the Limerick panels as well. But not even that, you know, all inter-county players, you know, are mixed in with these, and it should be shaping up for a cracking game today.
Talk to me about the Fitzgibbon Cup, because it kind of sparked for you last year, didn't it? Early in the year, you got a bit of momentum through the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup, and it carried right the way through to the All-Ireland final with Limerick. And I put it to you, Seamus, that you mightn't have had the year you have had if it wasn't for Fitzgibbon Cup hurling.
Look, there's no denying it. You know, I started out my hurling last year, September of last year, with my college, with UCD. You know, that's where I started. You know, started my position, and I suppose for me, I was playing full forward for UCD. I was carrying that over to the Limerick team then as well, in the same position. So what I was doing was I was, you know, playing the same position, similar positions, and I was just bringing what I was doing with Limerick to UCD and vice versa. And as you said, you know, that's where it kicked off for me. It was last September when we started training with UCD, and the fact, I suppose, similarly we were playing with a lot of inter-county players as well. You know, the likes of Tyg de Burke, DJ Four, and James Mark from Kilkenny, and that just brought me on even further. So definitely, as you said, you know, Fitzgibbon Cup is where it all started for me, and I'm sure there's a few boys here that are looking to replicate that this year.
And what's it like when you come up against your teammates at inter-county level and you become rivals again? One moment stands out to me last summer, you and your UCD teammate DJ Foran coming together, and you hooked DJ, dispossessed him, got the ball back, and Limerick got a score.
Yeah, you know, it's. I suppose you kind of put, as Electric Ireland says, you know, first class rivals, and you know, when you put on that college jersey, friendships kind of go out the window, and after the game you're going to shake hands, but for that 65 minutes, you know, it's all, you're going balls out for your college, and that's just it. You know, it's just setting aside those county kind of friendships, and putting it all in for your college.
There is room though for some bit of rivalry when these two meet in the Electric Ireland, and by these two I mean you and Brian Hogan of Tipperary, your UCD teammate, and of course your rival at inter-county level. As you mentioned, this is all about hashtag first class rivals. Let's see what happened when Seamus and Brian had a bit of a meeting and see who came out on top.
So normally myself and Brian play together with UCD for the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon hurling competition, but today it's Limerick against Tip, Brian against Seamus. I think we all know who the winner's going to be. Say myself. How's it going, Brian?
Not great.
have another 2 minutes left in me anyway.
Yes!
Use the bigger hands. How the ankles, Brian?
Yes, now yourself.
Good, no, the core's the core.
You're under pressure now. You're under pressure. You have to win this one.
All those crunches paying off finally. Yay! This is where the cheese grater abs come in now to work. How was the journey up anyway?
I haven't told. I was long enough now. I was thinking this up yourself.
Just up for coffee?
I got captured.
He's dipping, lads. Champion boys.
Welcome back to the pitch at Mary Immaculate College ahead of this Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup encounter between Mary Immaculate College and Cork Institute of Technology. As you could see there, Brian Hogan bested by his college teammate but his county rival Seamus Flanagan, and Seamus has been bragging about that ever since. He may drop it in a couple of times during commentary today. Let's get to some thoughts from the Cork Institute of Technology side. Patrick Bracken is the chairman of Cork Institute of Technology GA. Patrick, this is a tough assignment away to Mary Immaculate College in the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup quarter final.
Yeah, it's probably one of the toughest games you get in the draw. Like, so up here in Mary, the crowd will be on the bank, the whole college will be here. Like, so it's up against us there, right?
That's kind of good though, isn't it, to have the underdog's tag?
Yeah, I suppose we'll take that. Like, but it's a big task, right, coming up here. But sure, look, we'll try our best. We'll do our best. The players are there. They'll do their best what they can do.
Talk to me about your campaign so far. What kind of form have you been in?
We went well. Like, we trained well. We got lads down together. We had DCU at the start. Like, they're in serious outfit now. Like, so we were up against it. We had a massive win against WIT last week, and here we go now. So the boys are starting already, look.
They're singing in the stands here. Rag Week is on in the Mary Immaculate College. Just before I let you go, couple of injuries, couple of guys who are named to start are out today.
Yeah, Owen O'Shea is out there. He'd be one of our main forwards. He's a serious hurler, but he slipped the disc in his back there last week, so he'd be a massive loss. But the boys are in today. They'll do their job, and we'll see what we come out with in the end.
Patrick Bracken, thank you very much for joining us here on pitchside at Mary Immaculate College. Seamus Flanagan, we talked about it beforehand, didn't we? The atmosphere here and it's building. Maybe people can hear. They're literally singing around us here at Mary I.
Look, never experienced anything like this, to have the Mary I boys above us singing songs. It's building for a great atmosphere, and I'm sure the Mary I boys will feed off of that.
I hope they're not too loud because they're right beside us in commentary.
Yeah, we're lucky to have the headphones on, I think, and we might be joining in at half time with those boys.
Talk to me about your hashtag first class rivalry with Brian Hogan. We saw the video a couple of minutes. You beat him and beat him well. You must have been proud of that.
Look, I was the winter training really paid off for me there. I think against Brian, I was practicing my hand tough challenge. I think Brian with the bigger hands probably got one over me there. But no, look, it was an excellent day. Myself and Brian, we've met twice since. With Tipperary and Limerick, and it was great. To meet up with them that way and have a bit of crack that day. But coming back in the championship again and beat them obviously in the league last weekend, and you will be facing up against them in championship again come the summertime. So myself and Brian will meet again. Will
that be brought up on the pitch? Sure. Not that you'd sledge him.
No, not at all. I think I've learned my lesson after that Wexford game. But I think myself and Brian, good pals, and it's just looking forward now to meeting him again in the championship time.
Okay, those are the thoughts of Seamus Flanagan. He's with us throughout the afternoon for this Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup quarter final between Mary Immaculate College and the Cork Institute of Technology. It's Rag Week here at Mary I, and you can probably hear the atmosphere building in the background. When we come back in a few minutes, we will have this game live. Stay with us.
Some moments teach you all you need to know about yourself. The Electric Ireland GAA Minor Championships. This is major.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Mary Immaculate College in Limerick ahead of this clash between Mary Immaculate College and Cork Institute of Technology in the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup quarter-final. It's a big game on a really, really good pitch, and as we've said, the atmosphere is certainly building. Let's have a look at the teams, starting with Mary Immaculate College Limerick. Well, no changes according to Jamie Wall, the manager who we just spoke to. Watch out for Owen Cahill. The Offaly man can score from long distance. What a midfield they've got. Thomas Monaghan and Luke Meade of Cork. Colin Guilfoyle has featured regularly for Clare so far this season. Gary Cooney came off the bench and scored a point against Kilkenny over the weekend. Aaron Galando, Seamus, he's the go-to man. He's the one they'll all be watching.
Yeah, Oisín, I think Aaron Galland's probably looking at a man-marking job here today. I'm sure CIT has some sort of plan formulated for Aaron today. But looking besides Aaron, you've Thomas Monaghan there in midfield, you've Luke Meade there in midfield, you've Colin O'Brien from Cork there half forward. They're strong all over the pitch. Colin Guilfoyle inside as well, hurling with the Clare seniors. It's shaping up for a mighty fine game today, and I look forward to every bit of it.
How do you best use someone like Aaron Galland?
I think Galland's probably best when he's allowed roam around, and I think that's what Mary I will do today. I think he's out around the half forward, and if he can drift into the full forward and out to midfield, get him on the ball as much as possible, and he'll do the damage. He's a very accurate free taker, and I think besides that, he's excellent from play as well. So get him on the ball as much as possible, and he'll do the damage for you.
And he looks cool as a breeze there, doesn't he?
Oh look, nothing phases Galland. He's probably inside his dressing room messing around before a game. Even before you can see him there, he's chatting away to the umpires and that. Nothing really phases Galland, and looking forward to seeing him today and seeing what he can do.
And as we say, the breeze not that stiff. You can see it yourself there, the flag's blowing. Let's hope the weather is better today than it was last night at Belfield. Colin Guilfoyle, he's been in fine form for Clare, and he's taken that form into the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup, hasn't he?
He has. I saw him down there against Tipperary in the first round of the league. He was hurling great stuff. He's an excellent pair of hands in him. So once high or low ball goes into Colin Guilfoyle, I think he's going to do damage inside. But it's a case of getting it into him now. CIT, Dara Fanning's back there, full back, I think. Dara, I would have marked him many times with training inside Limerick with the minors and 21s. Dara's very sticky. He's pace, he's power, and he'll try and get that ball to ground today, I think. Colin will have a job in his hands, but no, I think it's, there's battles all over the field, and that's one that I'm keen to get a look at.
You can just see on your picture there, Jamie Wall is sitting between the 65s. We'll talk about him in a second and the job he's done, but let's feature first the Cork Institute of Technology team. Patrick Collins from the great Collins goalkeeping family is between the sticks. John Good and David Noonan will run things at midfield. Andrew Coffey comes in as a late replacement for Joe Connolly. Owen O'Shea also out, he's injured. Ryan Walsh comes in for him. Owen Healy and Kevin Galvin, we know they can pop forward from the cornerback positions. Enda Heffernan, he's a real anchorman in the middle for his team. He's been doing great stuff for Tipperary at underage level in the last couple of years. And of course Conor Prunty, who has recently featured for the Waterford Senior Hurlers. He's also played for the Waterford Senior Footballers in the past as well. It's a very well balanced team, Seamus.
It is, starting in goals there, Patrick Collins, he's going to look, his pockets are exceptional, like, some of the best I've seen around. He's going to find a guy in any pocket of space that's around the pitch. Going out to the half-back and then Conor Prunty. I'm expecting Conor Prunty to pick up Aaron Galland. I think, he's going to have the pace for Galland outside there, and that's another key battle up around the pitch. But, I'm expecting Conor Prunty to pick up Galland and follow him wherever he goes.
We are among the crowd here at Mary Immaculate College, and it's building nicely. There's a great atmosphere. It should be a really, really great occasion. Do Cork Institute of Technology have to try and hang on in there for as long as they can, or should they open up 15 on 15? How do you think they should play this?
I think there's excellent players all over the pitch for Mary I, but I don't think that they should focus their game on that. I think, looking at the CIT team, I think they have enough leaders inside there and enough star performers as well to attack this game 15 on 15. I think Fitzgibbon Cup, it's always been the case of, you go 15 on 15, there's never really sweepers played, and I think CIT should probably set up like that again today. I think that, they're up against it here against Mary I, but there's no point holding back. It's a 30-minute and a half, and I think they should go all out in this 30 minutes and see where they size up to this Mary I team.
It's time for the team photo. These are special moments, aren't they?
Yeah, Oisín, look, these are the boys that you've slogged with since last September. It's been a long, hard winter. Training there after, you're in college from 9 to 5, and you're coming down to the pitch. you know, it's special moments, and you know, quarterfinals are there to be won, and I think both these teams are going to go out and give it all that they have to push themselves into a semi-final.
The crowd building nicely here at Mary Immaculate College. Fantastic facilities. Had a walk around the college today. Seamus, obviously I didn't get enough points to go somewhere like this, so it was nice to actually be let in and walk around. Great facilities. And a great pitch, by the way. I mean, the sod is in perfect condition.
It is, look, and I think it's been freshly cut in as well. And you know, there's nothing stopping these boys from having. There's a fantastic game here set up in front of us. And you're looking down there, Gillans after starting in centre forward, I think. You know, there's positional changes already, and just waiting for throwing here now.
And here we go. Thomas Walsh of Waterford is our referee, and we're underway. CIT with the first ball, and David Noonan doesn't quite catch it right, and it's the first wide of the game, but they're showing their intent there. Go for it. They have the wind behind them, so why not? Get
the ball in there. You know, with this breeze, you know, you want to rack up as much as you can on a scoreline, and I think that's what they're going to utilise, the long ball in.
Owen Cahill, we mentioned him before the game and the lumper of a puck out he has, but he needs to find his own men. He didn't there. Here's David Noonan on it again. He's so lively. Now it's Dara Fanning, a man you mentioned, a Limerick man on home turf today. Robbed back by Conor Prunty. He's got great strength, the Abbey side man, and the free is awarded. Conor Prunty, who played in a county final with his club last season, beaten by Ballygunner, who obviously are going on now to the All-Ireland semi-final. This is a scoreable free, considering the breeze that's behind them and the strength of puck that Josh Buzang has. Wet conditions, we've had rain, but it's dry for the moment. Buzang gives it the distance. Does it have the accuracy? Oh yes, it does. That is a cracking score. CIT taking the lead. Owen Cahill in no rush here. And it's straight down the middle. Guilfoyle is trying to get under that one. Ball breaks kindly. And it's Luke Meade, the Cork man, who goes to ground and bounces back up. Meade flicks it back to Thomas Monaghan of Galway. Over across the way it goes to Gary Cooney. He's a lively presence. Cooney, oh, he's in here. That's a really good turn by Cooney. Cooney! Oh, what a finish! Gary Cooney took the ball, got out of trouble, and smacked it home.
Super goal there by Gary Cooney, but I think it was all about that ball by Thomas Monaghan. You can see what they're doing inside. They're isolating Gary Cooney inside by himself, and an excellent ball in by Thomas Monaghan inside. Saw the space and just picks him out.
Gary Cooney, he looked really good when he came off the bench for Clare against Kilkenny the other day, taking that form in here. Here is Shane Cummins, and Cummins gets a response, and there's one between them again.
Super response there by CIT again. You know, getting a score after that goal was crucial, absolutely crucial, and they've got that. So no, I think CIT should push on here again.
Ball goes straight down the park. That's a fantastic catch. Popped off to the onrushing Luke Meade. Luke Meade slots it over. Second point. Second score for Mary I should say.
Excellent work there again by Aaron Gillan. You know, high ball on top of him, high or low ball at Gillan. Gillan's little underneath it. And
this is real Rocky stuff. You have a go and we'll have a go. So much for sitting back at the start. Here's Owen Ryan. Picking it up on the run is Philip Hickey. And away Mary I go. That is a fantastic surging run. Now he has to take this one off the stick, and he does. It's Thomas Monaghan. Thomas Monaghan. Well, he's showing us with that score why they're talking so highly about him in Galway.
Absolutely super score there by Thomas Monaghan. You know, I was talking about his ball into the full forward line there for the goal, and an absolutely exceptional score there. You know, he had taken his two catches off the stick over the bar. Absolutely super score there by Thomas Monaghan.
Brilliant stuff from Monaghan. Down the line it goes from John Good. Looking inside for John Cooper. Cooper into the corner. Andrew Coffey of Tipperary couldn't quite control it, and it's spooned away by Seamus Downey. They look dangerous anytime they send ball into the forward line. Mary Immaculate College, and the bounce is kind, and trying to escape is Gary Cooney. Cooney away again, goes outside to Colin O'Brien, who doesn't catch his shot right. The defence, to be fair, got across and dealt with it. It is a 65.
65 there, but again, anytime that ball goes into Gary Cooney, he looks dangerous. You know, he's absolutely lightning quick off the mark there, and I think the CIT defence are going to have their work cut out today to stop him getting as many scores as possible.
we've hardly had time to catch breath. It's been a lightning start. There's the goal scorer, Gary Cooney.
Absolutely blistering start here. Fantastic start to this game. 1-2 in 4.5 minutes. Absolutely outrageous scoring here. And now Glenn here to open up his scoring as well. Already after setting up a score there for the goal. And this is his first chance from free, from place balls.
Gillan, who, as Seamus Flanagan has told you, handles the pressure so well. Off it goes towards Patrick's well, and over it goes. Trying to get it up into the hand there was Darren Brown, wouldn't quite fall for him. Now on his bike again is Thomas Monaghan. He's a wizard. Monaghan has a look, has a go, gets a score.
That's Thomas Monaghan's second score there today. And
Mary I building up a bit of a lead. That is a cracking score by Thomas Monaghan.
Absolutely sensational. That's his second score there. And I think when he's running at the CIT defence, I think they don't have an answer for him. He's so powerful running and getting by men.
John Good trying to escape Gillan and wins a free. Bit of a crowd building all the time here. John Good. He's done well so far. Coming out to take the free, Josh Buzang. So, can Buzang from a long way out land this one? That's his own 65 he's pretty much standing on. And as you can see, it's at a tight angle. He's given it plenty. Is plenty enough? No, couldn't quite keep it on target. Not sure who it was, but a big thanks to the student who handed me a pen when they saw that mine wasn't working. You're good people in Limerick, Seamus, I'll give you that. Coming forward now, Owen Ryan of Tipperary loses the ball. Hoovered up by Enda Heffernan. Trying to juggle it is Brian Everard. And he gets it away by any means possible, but it's going to be intercepted by Darren Brown. Brown has got players queuing up for it, including Craig Morgan. That's a really good pickup by Michael O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin, can he complement the pickup with the score? No, he can't. Good take by John Cooper, who was strong and he won the free.
If you're looking around here, Russian, the work of this Mary I team is just exceptional. The ball was out the opposite sideline there, and you have the half forward, you have the centre forward, the corner forward, all converging onto CIT man. They're not getting a moment on the ball, and it's going to stand to them here because they may be giving away frees, but once they're getting men around the ball, that ball's going to the ground, and Mary are picking up every breaking ball, which is crucial, and we'll see if they can hold this up for the rest of the half and even the rest of the game.
Josh Buzang. That one stays on target, and necessary and needed score for Cork Institute of Technology. The great thing about Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup games is you can actually hear what the players are saying on the pitch, and it's all encouragement on both teams.
Always, there's no point being negative here in these kind of games, and the game's being played so fast in such a positive manner. I think everyone's just kind of encouraging towards each other. But I think the CIT here, they need to get the ball into the full forward, and that's where they're causing most damage. Josh Buzang inside is very accurate from frees, and their area ball inside is returning for them. So I think they need to maybe bombard their full forward line a bit more with high ball inside.
Sorry, go on. And we chat with Craig Morgan there, and. No card or anything, but the referee did have a chat with his umpires. It's batted down, but only as far as Thomas Grimes juggles it forward. That's a really, really fine catch. Colin O'Brien goes to ground and wins the free in.
Oh, look, this full forward line, Colin O'Brien. I heard about him there at school, hurling in Hazelwood College as Drumcolor. He's after shooting up. He's carrying size there, and as a second-year student, he's looking like a real talent inside there. But high ball, low ball inside to that full forward line. They're causing damage and they're causing real problems with this CIT full back line.
Will Aaron Gillan have a go here, Seamus? You know him better than most.
He's shaping up to, but this one looks like it's going straight over the bar, just as I predicted.
You're psychic. And it was probably the right thing to do.
It was. Look, Mary, I just want to keep this scoreboard ticking over against this breeze, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Goes over the head and sticks of everyone, but it's kept alive really well by Brian Everard. Went into the path of a Mary I player though. And here winding up is Darren Brown. Brown into the corner. That high ball is so dangerous, and Mary I are winning it almost every time. It's shoveled on. Gillan runs onto this one, just couldn't get it up off the heavy turf, but it does come out to Gary Cooney. Cooney pounced upon. Scramble on. These rucks, so important at this time of year. If you have the physical strength, you have the advantage. No one's backing down though. And CIT escaped through Enda Heffernan. Wasn't fouled according to the referee, David Noonan. Noonan into the corner where it's 2-on-1 in favour of Mary I, and the two win it, and here's Brown. Wow, that is some evasion by Brown. Then it's spilled by Grimes. Grimes forward. Philip Hickey. Oh wow.
Super goal there by Philip Hickey. Absolutely unbelievable work right there by Darren Brown in the centre back line. And showed he was nimble and quick feet there to get away from that tackle, and it laid it out to Philip Hickey, and what a score that was from him.
Down the line it goes. CIT aim at Brian Everard, who does take and run. Everard still going. He has options, might just take the score himself. And that's exactly what he does. Right decision. Good work by the Cork man. It's a really enjoyable match so far. Interesting on the puck out as well that Mary I spread right across the pitch. Picked up and on the run is Monaghan. Monaghan might be in on goal here. He's going to go for it, and he's going to settle for a point. I think he was going for goal though.
I think he was, but look, that's Monaghan's third point from play. This guy's having a massive influence on the game. And if you're looking at the Mary I puck outs, they're playing 4 across the half-hour line, overloading that half-hour line, and it's really working dividends for him there down today. Patrick
Collins, whose goalkeeping brother Matt won a Dublin County title with Kilmacud Crokes a couple of years ago. Inside it goes. Colin Guilfoyle. He's aiming it in towards Cooney, who's trying to get under this one. Goalkeeper Patrick Collins does really well. He's working with Anthony Nash. That has to help, as frustrating as it must be, knowing that as long as Nash is in form, he's probably not going to get in, but you never know. Dara Fanning defending very smartly there. Slotted it out to Shane Cummins, or I beg your pardon, to Colin O'Brien. And it was David Prendergast who got the ball to him. Trying to keep it under control is Monaghan. Wasn't fouled according to the referee. And CIT escaped. Blocked down on Cummins. Really strong work by Grimes. Up into the hand of Colin O'Brien. Cooney looking to turn smartly. Cooney can't quite escape his man. Doesn't give up on it though. John Good comes in to try and pick it up. He can't take it cleanly. CIT have it back to Enda Heffernan, who can't get away. It's really intense out there, Seamus.
Massive. Look, the hits that are going in are just unbelievable. Gary Cooney's causing serious problems inside for that CIT defence, and anytime the ball's going into him, he's coming out with it. But just the hits that are going in, up here we can feel them. Absolutely crunching challenges, and that's exactly what Fitzgibbon Cup hurling brings. That intensity, that absolute flair, and the will to win. And both teams seem to have it here today.
Conor Prunty is down for CIT. They'll hope he's okay. Well, they'll hope all of their players are okay, but he is particularly important. He's so strong. He brings such experience.
Just looking down here, things. The Mary I use of the ball is exceptional. There's never a nameless ball into that full forward line. While they are using that as an outlet, the use of the ball inside, Tommy Grimes there, Darren Brown, Luke Mead, Tom Monaghan, their use of the ball is exceptional. And they have stars all over the field. And I'm just so impressed with their use of the ball today. It's exceptional.
Prunty is trying to continue. Jamie Wall, the manager, what a job he has done with Mary Immaculate College, and in a short space of time he's kind of become a legendary figure around here.
He has, Jamie's synonymous with the Mary I setup. He brings so much. His knowledge of the game is exceptional, and he has these Mary I boys flying here today. They're used to the ball as an exception, as I was saying, and they're setting up exactly how they should set up against the CIT team.
Patrick Collins goes long, trying to drop it in on top of John Cooper, but again it's claimed back by Luke Mead. Mead to Brown, away by Seamus Downey. Good and brave pick up there, and it's the centre back ram raiding out Enda Heffernan. Shane Cummins from right out the country. Cummins hits it wide into what you might call the city end. That's a fantastic take. Harrington. Defender got out in front but couldn't take it cleanly in the hand. Might fall for Ryan Walsh. Walsh still fighting for it. Now Andrew Coffey. Coffey back to Walsh. Again, they're just not allowed to take it cleanly by these Mary I backs. Great battling. Seamus Downey. Downey held up, loses it. They just cannot get it clear. Now all the way back there's Philip Hickey. They kept cool under pressure. Great ball to Luke Mead. Luke Mead, who's so dangerous with the ball in space and running at speed. And Luke Mead hits it wide. It would have been a really good score.
What a sidestep there by Luke Mead. You could see it coming all along. It was Sean Kavanagh-esque, really. The way he threw the shoulders and evaded his man. All he was missing was the finish.
It's the ultimate compliment to a footballer when a hurler compares their sport to theirs.
Deserve it in that situation.
Absolutely. Sean Kavanagh, what a legend. Moved on to Brian Everard. Everard goes to ground. No free, says the referee, who's allowed this one to flow. Prunty tried to dance through the middle there. No room, it's batted. Couldn't make clean contact. And it's Ross Brown who somehow, or Darren Brown who somehow gets it into hand. Collected by John Good. Handle it on the ground. Free to Mary Immaculate College.
Are you going to have ties of steel after this, lads?
I love the crew.
Galan fancies it. Do you fancy him to put it over from there? Between the 65s, actually closer to his own 65.
Yeah, close to his own 65, and against this breeze, you're looking down at the flags, the breeze seems to be picking up, and he's changing from his normal stance, looking for a bit more distance on this. Let's see how he fares.
Galan, it's going to drop. It's going to be dangerous for CIT. Cooney couldn't quite get it. It's guided away by Enda Heffernan, but only as far as Monaghan. Monaghan shows that shuffle again, shows that run again. Hand pass out to Galan. Galan pops it back. Luke Mead. Luke Mead! He was surrounded by three. He still got his shot away, but it dropped short, and it's taken very, very easily by Patrick Collins, who goes long towards the Somerville house end. Ball breaks for Brown. All the way back to the goalkeeper, Owen Cahill, who slots it outside. Owen Ryan. Ryan plays a half diagonal. Really good catch by Colin O'Brien. Has he got anyone to give the ball to? Brick flick outside to Thomas Monaghan. Monaghan dropped it, regathered. Lovely slotted ball to Colin O'Brien, who sends it all the way over.
That diagonal ball there for Mary I is proof of dividends. Every time the halfback gets a ball, he's looking across to switch that ball into the corner, and it's working out an absolute treat for them. Every time the ball's gone across, it's just resulted in a score for the Mary I.
They're showing really sharp skills, both teams, but more so Mary I.
Big time. Look, Darren Brown there, centre back, is hurling an absolute amount of ball down there, and he's coming out with every sort of a ball, low, high, whatever it is, and he's having an absolute storm of a game there today. Really, really impressed with him.
Free to Mary I, given away by Daniel Harrington of Cork. Actually, it's a line ball rather than a free. Will it make any difference to Galan? Wow, that is right out of the bunker. That is a perfect line ball.
I can assure you, sidelines are not one of Aaron Galan's strong points. But what a sideline it was from that man there.
They used not be one of his strong points.
Watch out, Darragh Donovan.
And Joe Canning. We really are seeing the entire range of skills during this game, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely. You know, high field and Colin O'Brien there, you know, looking down him, he's about a foot over his man, and any high ball that's going in, I can assure you, Darragh Fanning is no small man, but Colin O'Brien seems to be a foot over. Another high ball in again, and the Mary I come out with it.
And it was Guilfoyle who was showing anything that Galan can do, he can do almost as well. He was very far out, so getting a score was nigh on impossible, but it was still a good ball into the forward line. This is intercepted by Grimes. Grimes to Monaghan. Monaghan on his bike, onto the stick again. Doesn't catch it right. Sent away by CIT, but only as far as Grimes. Grimes bouncing off John Good, but still keeping possession. Grimes. It's going to drop dangerously. Is it going to drop kindly from the Mary I point of view? No, it's not. Well defended CIT. Daniel Harrington has it and sends it down the wing. That is a supreme catch. Well done, Kevin Galvin of Kilkenny. Seamus Downey, I beg your pardon. Nice flick by Conor Prunty. But the ball just kind of holds up. Conor Prunty goes in to help out again. Brown couldn't get it away on this occasion. Grimes chasing after it. He's going to be beaten to it. Grimes lost out the first time. He wasn't going to lose out the second time, but then he gives it away. Slotted by Heffernan. Really good take, John Good. Good trying to get inside. Philip Hickey over carries, free out for Mary Immaculate College.
Just a surprising aspect there from the CIT team. They seem to be dropping very deep. Their half forward line seems to be dropping back towards their midfield line, midfield back to their half back line, and leaving the Mary I half back line completely free, and then playing aimless ball on top of them. I think if CIT have any options or any hopes in this game, I think they're going to need to push their half forward line up, especially with this breeze that they're playing with.
I wonder, will Owen Cattle go for this? He certainly has the range, the Offaly man.
Looks like he's shaping up for it here now. Will he have he'll have the distance, but will he have the accuracy from back here in his own 45 nearly?
We're about to find out. It's travelling so far, it's going to have air miles. Oh, it's gone in! But it's a square ball. And a let-off for Cork Institute of Technology.
Big let-off, you know, if Mary I can get another goal here, it seems to be, you know, you'd be saying nearly game over here for this CIT team. Mary I just pushing up very, very hard nose buckets as well.
Owen Healy, Patrick Collins. He actually has that Nash style when he pucks it like that, doesn't he?
He does. Look, I suppose from down the years worked together for so long, you know, he's obviously adapting some of Nash's technique, and you know they're utilising that sharp buck out again.
That's a wide. Jamie Wall, an interesting situation with him in the Cork Institute of Technology management. Ross Cashman, who's part of the CIT management, is getting married the weekend of the Fitzgibbon Cup final. Jamie Wall is going to be one of his groomsmen, and the best man I think is Timmy Murphy of CIT. They all met, they all came together when they were all going to CIT. Owen Ryan couldn't quite get it away. Cork Institute of Technology have it back. That's a good surge through the centre. Then it's lost and regathered. Didn't give up on it, Daniel Harrington. Gives it back to David Noonan. David Noonan's ball is going to drop. But fighting for it inside is Shane Cummins. And the puck out will go to Mary Immaculate College, whose backline of Ryan, Prendergast and Downey have been really, really strong so far. Seamus Flanagan.
Yeah, look, we played against this Mary I team there in the challenge there before the Fitzgibbon started off, and you know although they were missing a few, this Mary I team is a big outfit. You know, for a small college, they have absolute standout names, and today again they're showing it. Like, you know, Galan mightn't be having the game that he's looking for, but there's other guys around that are stepping up to the plate big time.
Another ruck for the ball. I wouldn't fancy being in there. And it's a free into Mary Immaculate College. And a little bit of afters, but nothing too major. Galan. Has he slightly pulled that one? He has, most un-Galan-like.
Absolutely, you're expecting Galan to slot those over with his eyes closed at this stage. But Chuck, I suppose it's not a stand-up point at the moment. Another absolutely unbelievable catch there by Thomas Grimes. That half-back then is having a field day.
He's really, really enjoying himself out there, Grimes. Coming forward, Gary Cooney. He's done an awful lot of work in the back line, but he has got forward and has made an impact. Oh, there could be an impact here, but he couldn't quite shovel it in. Colin Guilfoyle and CIT get away with it. Enda Heffernan sends it away. Out as far as Andrew Coffey. Coffey fumbles, then regathers. A couple of scores for CIT will bring them right back into this game. John Good. And they have the capability, Seamus.
They do, absolutely. The CIT team, I think it wants to get their running game going again. An absolutely unbelievable score there again, CIT. And they need more of this. They need more of this. So right before half-time, if they can run that ball at the Mary defence, that long ball obviously isn't working for them. And if they can run it more, I think they're going to reap the rewards out of it.
Right on cue from Andrew Coffey when his team absolutely needed it. Cahill winds up. Going up for it there was Meath, couldn't quite get it in hand. Here's Enda Heffernan. It's one of the best sights in hurling, isn't it? Seeing a centre-back storm out of defence. Forward couldn't get to it though, it's well protected by David Prendergast of Waterford. Prendergast out to Grimes. I love the way Grimes just allowed it to trickle into him there. Puts it into the corner, he's looking inside. Couldn't quite find Galan, who was well covered by the time it dropped. Owen Healy doing really well. And it's a free out.
It's so impressive just to see this Mary team, when they're coming out, they never panic with the ball. There's always an outlet ball, and the way that they're setting up Thomas, either one of the half-backs, Thomas Grimes, seems to always be free, or Darren Brown's there. And, never lose the head, and it's always that intelligent ball out, and I think that's what's proven dividends for them today.
Ball into the corner, but there to read it well was Darren Brown. Grimes is screaming for it on this near side and receives it. Oh, he doesn't. I got a bit ahead of myself, but Grimes rescues the situation. It's opened up for him. Grimes! Can he squeeze this one between the posts? That is as sweet a strike as you're going to see.
Super score there from Thomas Grimes. He's always liable to pop up with 2 or 3 points from the half-back line, and that was an absolutely outrageous score from Thomas Grimes. But again, as I said, that out ball from Mary out to the half-back line, it's working wonders for them. And I think if the CIT boys don't shut this down, this game could be over before half-time.
A long-range score from the half-back line. Who does he think he is? Dermot Burns?
I think he's taking inspiration from someone like that anyway.
Burns of LIT, who were in action today. Not sure if he's still going there, but he was going there at one stage. Great take, fantastic take by Luke Meade. Coming out to meet it is Colin Guilfoyle. Trying to shovel it into the hand. It's difficult when you've got a cornerback stuck to you. Kicked away, but only as far as Monaghan. Monaghan with those fast feet doesn't catch the shot. Collins away. The target for Collins was John Cooper. John Cooper does get there. John Cooper can't keep it on target. They've had a couple of wides in this game. that they really would be disappointed with?
They have, and it's not for their lack of trying, but I think their use of the ball needs to be a small bit better. That was out on the sideline, kind of a hit and hope shot. I think if you recycled that ball and worked it back across the middle, I think they would have had a lot better chance to score. But I think the CIT team, they just need to keep shooting. Mary are playing an awful lot of it, and any chance the CIT boys need to get, they need to start scoring it, because this game is slowly but surely running away from them.
Grimes is beaten to it, but Monaghan isn't. Free out awarded. Just left an arm in there. It was needless from Colin O'Brien. Don't forget half-time analysis to come. Monaghan is told to back off a little bit there. And this will be a long ranger from Josh Buzang. Looks like it's straying, or is it? Oh no, it's not. And needed and brilliant score from Josh Buzang. So at half-time, 1:10 plays 6 points. Mary Immaculate College leading Seamus Flanagan. What did you make of that first 30?
I'm just so impressed by that Mary performance there today. Their use of the ball out of the back line is just exceptional. Never hitting a hope ball into that full forward line. Although when it does go in, they're grabbing that ball, and it's 100% return rate for that Mary full forward line. But just their use of the ball, and I think if the CIT team want to push on and challenge this Mary team, I think against the Breeze they're going to need to use the ball a lot better. There was a few hit and hope shots there from the sideline and out the field. Josh Buzang is having a fine game on the freeze. They need to get him a bit more into from play. But just so impressed by this Mary performance. It looks like a really complete performance from them.
If they were a little bit sharper in the forwards, though, they'd have ran away by now.
They would. Look, there's been a few aimless shots. I know Luke Mead there is after having 2 wides and a few balls dropped sharp. But Thomas Monaghan there from midfield, 3 points in play. Aaron Gallant still hasn't come into it as of yet. And I think just there, Colin O'Brien inside, and there's stars all over the field. And I think if they use that ball a bit more in the second half, it's there for Mary Definitely.
And what do you think will be said in both dressing rooms at half-time?
Look, I think the Mary dressing room is more the same, really, to be honest. They were playing against the Breeze there, and they were playing 15 on 15, and I think with the Breeze this half, they're going to have a lot more joy from long range. But I think in the CIT dressing room, I think it's going to be a case of let's get the bodies in, let's get the hits in like Mary were in the first half. Anytime a CIT guy got on the ball, there was 4 or 5 guys around him and the ball was dispossessed. So I think CIT are going to need to adopt that mentality, that strategy this half against the Breeze, and just superior work rate from those CIT lads.
Okay, Seamus Flanagan, for now, thank you very much. Mary Immaculate College leading at the break. It's a 7-point gap, which, as we're all aware, in hurling can be closed very, very, very quickly. As Seamus well knows from the All-Ireland final, you just about got away with it, and we were glad you did, because that Limerick team deserved an All-Ireland. Not that Galway didn't. Of course, they had one the year before, and I remember that well as a Waterford man. It brings back painful memories. But look, my psychology session maybe should wait till after the coverage. Half-time in Mary Immaculate College in this Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup encounter. It's Mary Immaculate College 110, Cork Institute of Technology 6 points. Now, I guess Fitzgibbon Cup hurling and Sigerson Cup hurling is all about first-class rivalries. A lot of guys who play against each other for their various counties come together and play with each other in the colleges. But even in that context, even in their college context, it's good for them to challenge each other. And that's what we did with Kerry's Sean O'Shea and Cork's Cian Kiley, who are both part of the UCC football panel.
Usually we play for the same team with UCC, but today it's different. It's Cork against Kerry, Rebels against the Kingdom, Cian against Sean. We all know who's going to win this one. Oh, hold on. Go on. On. Come on, Johnny, boy. Go on, give up, come on. I'd say form is perfect, is it?
Welcome back to Mary Immaculate College. We're on the pitch. It's half-time in the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup encounter of Mary Immaculate College and the Cork Institute of Technology. Mary I leading by 110 to 6 points. Seamus Flanagan, All-Ireland winning Limerick hurler, and of course UCD hurler is with me. And Jerome O'Connell, GA correspondent here in Limerick, also with us. Jerome, I'll give the first word to you. Mary I playing well so far.
Yeah, really impressive from them, facing into stiffish enough breeze in that first half, and I just thought they hit the ground running. Really impressive. I suppose the role of Thomas Monaghan has been instrumental. Seems to be kind of named in the full forward line, but roaming all over the place, getting on an amount of ball and 3 points from play in the first half into the breeze, when at the other end Cork are probably struggling for scores from play.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mary I taking their scores a bit better and creating more opportunities, Seamus.
They are, I think that crossfield ball there for Mary I is just proving dividends for them. I think, the area ball inside, they're winning everything, and they're coming out with a lot of ball and coming out with a lot of scores out of it. And I think, as Jerome was saying, that ball just in from CIT isn't just working for them inside. They're dropping their half forward line back a good bit into midfield when they're with the breeze. So I think they're going to be up against it in the second half.
Sometimes in a match you have a lot of opportunities, and if you don't take them, you're made to regret it. Could we see that with Mary I? Because as good as some of their scoring has been, sometimes they've overplayed it, Jerome.
Yeah, they probably have. I think they probably had too much time in the ball in some instances. A lot of their half-back line in midfield are getting an amount of time on the ball, and they have a lot of options as well. I know there's a bit of frustration from the management that maybe not taking the right option, but that said, 110 in a first half, not bad into that breeze, and getting a lot of scores on the ball as well. And as Seamus said, they have ball winners, they have Colin Guilfoyle, Colin O'Brien, two big guys. Then on top of that, there's no great height in Gary Cooney, but he's still winning a lot of ball. Probably haven't even seen the best maybe of Aaron Gillan yet, but that's how much they've been on top for me. And Luke Meade, Philip Hickey around midfield, I think they've got all the aces really. I think probably their intensity would really have to drop in the second half if Cork are to find any bit of a footing.
One thing we did notice in that first half is that when the ball drops in front of the forwards of Mary Immaculate College, they're able to turn and go. Hasn't been so much the case for Cork Institute of Technology. They need to start doing that because they do have the talent to do so. They
do. Look, inside, they've massive standout names inside again. But as you said, I think Mary I, when they get on the ball, I think it's a case of drop that shoulder and go towards goal. Goal is the first thing on their mind, the points the secondary option. Whereas I think CIT are happy enough to shoot off the back foot. And I think against this breeze, whatever with the breeze, but against this breeze, they're going to need to drop that shoulder and go, turn and go. They're going to need goals in this game if they want to set up a finale finish.
Yeah, well, you can probably see in the background a couple of the subs still warming up. We're at half-time in the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup quarter-final between Mary Immaculate College and Cork Institute of Technology, and Mary I lead by 7 points. It's 110 to 6 points. Seamus Flanagan and Jerome O'Connell, GA correspondent with the Limerick Leader, with us at the break here. Remember, you can join the conversation through the Electric Ireland social media channels. Just hashtag First Class Rivals. Great atmosphere around here, Jerome, isn't there? It's a really cracking occasion here today.
Yeah, it is. I'm not sure. Someone told me when I arrived that it may be Rag Week here in Mary Immaculate College, but it's what you get in the college games, and I think that's why having the home venue is such an important thing on your college grounds, and it gets the crowds out. And there's been a tradition here in Mary Immaculate. It's my old alma mater here, and when we were here, it was Ryan Cup, and you didn't have these big days. But the last 5 or 6 years, they've really built a tradition for hurling here, and it's a quality side they've got.
Okay, Jerome, for now, thank you very much. That's Jerome O'Connell of the Limerick Leader, the GA correspondent with them. Seamus Flanagan is still with me, as maybe you can see in the background, Mary I back out for the second half. We'll have that live. Stay with us.
Some moments teach you all you need to know about yourself. The Electric Ireland GAA Minor Championships. This is major.
Cork Institute of Technology rejoining us on the pitch here at Mary Immaculate College. They're down by 7 in this Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup quarter-final. Philip Hickey, he's one of the standout players for Mary I. He's done well so far. And Jerome O'Connell pointed it out. In the first half, he kind of came deep and won a lot of ball.
He did. He came deep, and that ball that was crucial for him there winning. And I'm looking around here, and I'm seeing that CIT here after making a few changes here as well. You know, these boys aren't going down without a fight, and I think it's crucial for this CIT team to get on the scoreboard early in the second half. You know, just to make a game out of it.
I see William Hurley has come on for CIT. Can't quite see at the moment who he has come on for, but what does he need to do? A sub always has to have an impact, don't they?
He does. He needs to get on the ball. You know, just getting on that ball and just the use of the ball, especially inside. You know, I can see CIT here after playing a 2-man from forward line inside. They're retreating another man out to the half forward line. So I think their aim this half is definitely to get on more ball across that half forward line and just to run at this Mary I defence, because to be honest, it hasn't been run at yet at all.
Well, the teams are out before the ref and the officials, which is unusual. They are mad to get going, aren't they?
They are. Look, it's a cold day. Just want to get this match going again. As you said, rare enough to see teams out before the referee.
I saw you shivering at half time, Seamus. I thought you hurlers were supposed to be hard. You're supposed to be tough men.
It's just my eagerness to get out and play. I'm itching to get on the field, get those boots on again.
I imagine, like, when you see a game like this, it actually does make you even more mad to get out and get the ball in hand and get going. CIT need a good start to the second half. Will they get it? Nothing wrong with their work rate. Just Mary I have been that bit more accurate at times. Grimes trying to show more accuracy, but playing a bit of buckaroo there was Kevin Galvin, the cornerback. CIT move it down the park. A couple of scores at the start of this half would do them the world of good. John Good moved it on. It's a strike from a long way out. It's Andrew Coffey. It's a point.
Super score there from Andrew Coffey. You know, that's exactly what CIT needed to get that first score the second half, and I can see him again. You know, they're running off the shoulder. That movement inside off the half forward line is working for them, and that's what they need to keep up in the second half.
It's a breeze against the Cork Institute of Technology, but sometimes that doesn't make a whole pile of difference. We saw that last night in Belfield. UCD actually played better with the breeze against them in the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup, with 2-16 to 1-9 win over DCU Docasharon. Spilled off the stick of Gary Cooney, couldn't get it back up. What a goal he scored in the first half. Here comes Brian Everard, rides the tackle well. He's being screened up by teammates. Good block coming in from Owen Ryan, did really well, but Everard got it back. Walsh pops it off. They have to go round the long way. It's a lovely little ball off the stick. David Noonan didn't catch it right. Grimes did. Away it goes from Brown. Gallant took the chance of backing off a bit. It didn't work out. Another scramble on these really good conditions. Owen Healy. Such intensity out there. It's so hard to actually get a clean strike on the ball. That's a beautiful pass. Monaghan fancies it. Goes wide. Galvin carries it. His route partially blocked by Colin O'Brien. Harrington, centre back under it, couldn't take it cleanly. Pouncing on him is John Good. Brown, away it goes. Gillan couldn't take it cleanly. Surging forward, Enda Heffernan. Pop pass. Coffey back inside. Looked like a throw, he's got away with it. Heffernan's still going, goes off the stick. Probably the wrong decision, he was well covered. Hoovered up by Craig Morgan. Monaghan slots it over.
Super score there again by Tomas Monaghan. I think the CIT midfielders just seem to be stepping off him a bit. There's a lot of bodies from Mary I around the middle, and you know the CIT team really need to push up on top of them. They're getting away way too much time on the ball, and it's not good for the CIT team.
Well, that's stay and play at will. John Good. CIT forward trying to win the race there. It's Shane Cummins. A goal brings them right back into it. They try and create an opening. It's not gone yet. It trickles. Cahill is behind it. David Noonan tried his luck, but Cahill was never going to let that one in. Gallan couldn't quite take it. Harrington. This is better from CIT. Cummins. Really good strike by Shane Cummins.
Super score there by CIT, and they seem to be using the ball a lot better than they were in the first half against this breeze. You know, there's a lot of running off the shoulder, and it's working very well for the CIT team. They need to keep that up in the second half.
Owen Ryan. Good catch. CIT have it through Owen Healy. He got out in front of Ryan Walsh, but it just bounced under him. Downey. Downey, while on the ground, loses it. Trying to get it into the hand is David Noonan. It's a bit more broken as a game now, but that'll actually suit CIT. Ball slotted out to Andrew Coffey. Coffey couldn't keep it on frame.
But like, I think when it's short, like every little bit strict, you go obvious. Whereas when it's long, you go that's what I said. No, I think they were actually good for it like that.
Good take. Matched by a good scorer, Gary Cooney.
Yeah, Gary Cooney's on fire inside. Any ball that goes into him, high or low, he's winning it. Absolutely excellent score there again from him. All came from a high ball broken down by Gallan, and they're getting in around those breaks, and they seem to be winning all of those.
He got a cracking goal in the first half. Here comes Daniel Harrington. Cooney, that is. Back it goes to David Noonan. Noonan, they're taking risks. And again, it doesn't work out. Cummins bottling up the goalkeeper. And to his credit, won the 65 for his team. So to be fair, on that occasion, it actually did work out.
It worked out, but look again, I think their use of the ball into the full forward needs to be a lot better. You know, they're hitting hope balls, and wides against the squeeze are kind of unacceptable. You need to use that ball a lot better. And you know, they're getting opportunities, and they just need to be selective on when they're shooting and where they're shooting from.
A couple of Limerick fans were trying to get pictures with you at half-time. I apologise to them because I had to tear you away for half-time analysis. After the game, take as much time as you want with Seamus, so long as we get you to training on time, obviously.
Work comes first, lads. Work comes first.
You don't call this work. Is that going over? No. And they need all of those to drop. They need all of those to go over. Josh Bruzang knows it. Really good take. We were talking about first-class rivals at half-time. We showed you the challenge of Sean O'Shea from Kerry and Cian Kiley from Cork, both in UCC at the moment. UCC sealed their place in the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup semi-finals last night with a really big victory against IT Carlow. They'll play NUI Galway. Escaping out of defence is Ender Heffernan, lovely little pop to Everard, who is met by the shoulder of Grimes. Nothing wrong with it, says the referee. Hasn't given up on this one, Brian Everard. Trying to escape Grimes, that's not easy to do. And it's a chop down and a free in. Maybe Cork Institute of Technology might start thinking of making a few changes. They're all keen to get on.
And just looking down the side, I think Brian Buckley from Drummoyne is after coming on the pitch here now. No bad addition to the team. You know, Brian, I've heard about Brian again, same as Colin O'Brien over in Hazel College in Drumcolor, and very, very nice early. You know, great use of the ball, and I think this is what's standing out for me for this Mary team. You know, their use of the ball is just exceptional. You know, there's no individuals. It's a team. They're very much a team. Their use of the ball inside the full forward line is exceptional, and just very impressed with it all across the field.
And that was nicely slotted over by Josh Bruzang. And all the while, despite the fact that Mary I have been the better team throughout, they still just can't quite shake off CIT, can they?
No, they can't. You know, I think frees. Mary, need to cut out these frees if they want to pull away. But again, you know, like CIT they're utilising their running game here massively, and I think it's working dividends for them.
They'll need a goal at some point, but they need to watch their discipline as well, and that's a cheap free to give away.
It is. Look, this is going to bring Mary right back into the game. You know, it's going to cancel out that free just after a scoring there. And you know, they need to be really disciplined on their challenges here today, because there's been a few wild ones put in already.
Oh, thanks.
Keep an eye out, by the way, on the Electric Ireland social media channels, and of course the GA Higher Education social media channels for highlights of this game and the others going on today. Here's Aaron Gillan. His highlights reel growing all the time. A perfect strike in these kind of conditions, and Gillan adds to the lead. Great take. Is it going to be a first-class delivery from the first-class rival? Yes, it is. Popped off for the run of Ryan Walsh. Thought about running in on goal, settles for a point.
Super score there again from the CIT team. Well worked again, right out from the half-back, then from the keeper, right from the puck out. And they just need to keep doing that. They need to keep working that ball through the lines. You know, it's working for them now, so they just need to keep that up.
Colin O'Brien, an aim there, didn't quite fall for him. Does come to Cooney. Guilfoyle. And it carries. Fine score by Guilfoyle. We're seeing now why he's such a central part of Clare's plans for 2019, Colin Guilfoyle. Dara Fanning. Fanning inside. There's more than enough back there for Mary I. And it was really good work by the fullback, David Prendergast. And away goes Philip Hickey. Cooney. Cooney wasn't tugged back according to the referee. And it almost goes into the crowd. Battle on. Monaghan throws in the shoulder. And the referee is stopping play because we've got an injury and a little bit of a tussle off the ball. Thomas Monaghan, he's put in a shift today, he's feeling it now. What's it like when you're playing a game with this intensity and you get a stop like this? Do you try and catch your breath? Do you have a tactical word with teammates? What do you do, Seamus?
Yeah, I suppose there's a few times where you're trying to catch your breath. You know, if it's a high intensity game like this game here today, you know, you're trying to catch your breath, but also trying to not lose focus. You know, like this big long stoppages like this can kind of throw you a small bit. I suppose it's a case of gathering in. You know, if you're in the half hour down, gathering into your half hour down partners, and just assessing how you're getting on, what you can change, and I suppose just getting those messages back to the midfield line, back to the half back line, getting those messages that you need to get to the other players in the team, just so you know things can get back to flowing like they were. But also, yeah, you know, grabbing your breath. You know, it's been a severely intense game here. You were talking about Tomas Monaghan, you know, who's putting in an absolute massive shift here today himself, Luke Mead in midfield, and yeah, just, you know, catch your breath and just reassessing from where you are now.
DCU Docasharon up against TU Dublin City campus tonight. Not sure I'm going to make it back in time for that, Seamus, but we'll try. Cards being shown here by the referee. What's the colour? Yellow. David Prendergast, the fullback, gets the yellow. You wonder, could he be the long-term solution for Waterford at full-back, given the absence now of Barry Coughlin? NUI Galway leading by 4, by the way, against LIT in the other game going on right now. 10 points to 1-3. Aaron Gillan just didn't quite give it enough. Collins. Away it goes from Daniel Harrington. Grimes is under this one. Drops it, leaves it behind, and just regathers it coolly. Miscues to Galan. Intercepted by Conor Prunty. Prunty loses it. The other game I forgot to mention going on tonight is in the Mardyke, UCC against IT Carlow. Prunty bulldozing forward. And that's a shot from a tight corner, which goes over. The CIT, who are in a tight corner, need all of those to go over. Josh Buzang showing he can do it from play as well as freeze.
And for all the hurling that Mary are doing, CIT haven't faded away. 6 points in it with about 15 minutes to go. They're not out of this game by any means.
Oh, what a catch that was by Guilfoyle, doing his best to put the boot down. And it's dragged wide. O'Loughlin will be disappointed with that. What's that like, Seamus? And I'll ask you as someone who's played in an incredibly high-profile game where you had a comfortable lead and almost lost it. And of course, I'm talking about the All-Ireland final. Do you kind of feel the nerves? Does it begin to get more tense? What happens?
We do, obviously, Mary have played most of the hurling like we did against Galway. And, to have CIT still right there towards the end, it's demoralising, and, it can play on the mind a bit.
It means a lot, this game, and that means it gets occasionally heated, but temperature's cooling now, Everard. They just both want it so much. They haven't just worked for this throughout their time in college, they've worked for this throughout their lives, because Seamus, I imagine you're the same as everyone else who's played Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup hurling. It's a competition that you've known about since you were a child. It's a competition you've always wanted to be part of.
It's such a prestigious competition. You've heard about it, as you were saying, down through the years. When you're going to secondary school, you've heard of, and you've attended games, Fitzgibbon Cup games, and what a prestigious competition. And at a quarter-final stage, no one wants to crash out at a quarter-final stage. Everyone wants to get to the final, to eventually win it. These boys are going hell for leather here at this, and you can see it here today. When Timber start to flare, it just shows how much it means to these boys.
Cork Institute of Technology, have they won the line ball? Colin Guilfoyle doesn't think so. The indication from the linesman was that it was going CIT's way, but the referee has overruled him, and Guilfoyle is going to wind up for this. And we're being treated to a touch of Neil Diamond by the crowd. Guilfoyle. He can't quite squeeze it over. Collins catches out his own fullback, that's Dara Fanning. Fanning does well to retrieve the situation. Galan pounces his fellow county man. Has options. Couldn't find one of them. Here's Prunty. Prunty's played well. Grimes, he's also done well today. Down the line it goes. Into the path of Colin O'Brien. Good block on O'Brien. He goes for a second bite of it. And right in front of the Cork IT bench, he couldn't keep it in play. But it will be a Mary I ball. Keith Ricken watching on there, you can see him in the hat. He's just been named the Cork Under-20s manager. Well, he was certainly nominated for it anyway. There he is. We speak about going to these games all of your life. I mean, I remember sneaking off work from my job in my early 20s about 10-15 years ago. Actually, it's a bit more. And to CIT games, because I worked beside CIT, and there were great occasions. Keith was there walking up and down the line. He's put in such work into the Cork Institute of Technology. It was more like 17, 18 years ago, Seamus, if I'm being honest.
We'll leave it go, Asher.
Yeah,
we'll
thanks,
leave it go
Seamus.
this time. We'll leave it
You
go.
got my back. I appreciate that. Here's Aaron Galan, who is in his early 20s. And I'm very, very jealous of that.
It's interesting to hear with Aaron. It's actually only recently he's after changing his style of taking his frees. He was always crouched down behind the ball, take that one step into the ball, and I think he's after, I think it was kind of mid-season last season that he was after changing his stance a bit, and it's working for him. It's definitely working for him. His accuracy and his shooting accuracy rate has gone through the roof since he has, and I think it's paid off for him.
Galan zips that one over. Don't forget, reaction to come after this game. At present, it looks like we're going to be talking to happy Mary I people and not so happy Cork IT people. Harrington. Grimes takes it out of the sky. like bears to a bun. He's caught so many of those today.
He's been on so much ball today. You know, Thomas Grimes is probably one of our standout players, not a half back there. You know, Darren Brown hasn't had to do an awful lot because that ball, Thomas Grimes seems to be mopping up and sitting right behind that half back line, and he's getting on the world of ball outside there.
Did I say bears to a bun? I meant buns to a bear.
Again,
It's the cold. Look, I think Mossy Quinn and I almost went into hypothermic shock last night. It's still affecting me. It's my own fault. I didn't dress for the torrent of rain that we got. And credit, by the way, to Tim Healy of UCD, who offered us food afterwards. Said, come on in, you look like you need a hot meal after standing out there all evening.
Us people up in UCD always, hospitality rates are exceptional above in UCD, I have to say. You know, shout out to UCD again.
Josh Buzang, over it goes, good score. Seamus Flanagan, of course, you're hearing there, a current UCD student. And you know what, it's still a 6-point game.
Yeah, Mary just can't seem to pull away from the CIT team. You know, every time that Mary get ahead of steam, it seems to be CIT that come right back into it. You know, and looking down at things, the clock might just be against the CIT team unless they start fighting in the back of the net fairly soon.
Scramble on, well taken by O'Loughlin, and they're just keeping themselves in front by a comfortable distance. CIT need a goal. They might need a couple. Here's Owen Healy. Trying to escape is Daniel Harrington. They win a free. You just wonder, on any occasion that they can, will they drop the ball into the full forward line?
We're into the last 10 minutes here, so I think it's kind of their only option here. You know, you can see the keeper coming on, Patrick Collins, and he's going to look for a long delivery into that full forward line, and you know, a scramble goal is a goal. You know,
Patrick Collins drops it into the square. Takes a bounce, but not a kind one, and Grimes is there again. Drops it, but into the path of his teammate Luke Mead, and that's a beautiful pick-up by Mead. Well, it's the ultimate catch-22. You can drop balls in and try and get a goal, but when the full back line is that strong and they've got the support players coming back, it's hard to make any impact.
100%. You know, you're looking at playing the ball into a space where there's 12, 13 people. You know, the half back and after dropping back so deep as well. So you know, it is, as you said, catch-22.
Cahill. Galan is a target. Chelmsford doesn't get it, but he does eventually. Galan. That's a really well taken score.
And then looking down at that, Thomas Monaghan was after making a great break from midfield there. If Galan had looked up and, you know, had the vision, he might have picked him out, and this game would have really been put to bed. But you know, a score is a score at the end of the day, and you know, it keeps the scoreboard ticking over for this Mary team.
He's put in a shift today, Michael O'Loughlin. He is now, though, being replaced by Sean Burke from Cork. And he gets a warm round of applause by the really big crowd who have come out to watch this one. Despite the fact that it's trickling with rain. Not quite as bad as it was last night, but it is raining. Monaghan again. Collins tries to find Heffernan and does. Harrington goes out to Coffey. Coffey on the run. Intercepted. That's fine work by Mary I. A little bit of a clumsy one there on Luke Mead, and it will be a free and maybe more.
I think Mary I are playing a super tactic there. You know, Luke Mead seems to be carrying the role that he plays for Cork there onto the Mary I pitch. You know, he sits back in front of that half back line, and Tom Mon seems to be going up. And you know, Tom Mon has got 4 points in play already today, and it's paying off for them. But Luke Mead sitting in front of that half back line is crucial. You know, that guy can pick up a ball off his shoulder. You know, he's used to the ball inside to that full forward line, and to the boys around him. He's unreal. He brings other guys into the game, and like that other half back line might not be able to. So he's having a super game there, and Tom Mon up the other side of the pitch is again playing similar to he is.
As you would expect, a partisan home crowd wanted a little bit more than yellow, but yellow was the right call there.
Baying for blood again up here.
And most of these people will be teaching your kids.
I'm worried.
We've had a great day here so far. We've been treated really well, and we're very grateful to Mary Immaculate College. We're very grateful to Cork and UCC, where we broadcast last week. We're very grateful to UCD. We've been there a couple of times, and the road trip continues. We'll be in Mallow for the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup semi-finals, and we'll also be attending the Fitzgibbon Cup semi-finals. Really struck by how good the facilities are here in Mary I.
Unreal, you know, Mary I, a long-standing college, and you know, I think that there's been a few extensions put on here, but just on behalf of the GAA pitches, you know, the GAA pitches in exceptional condition. There's been, you know, it's unbelievable underfoot, and it hasn't torn up once today. You know, it's for this time of the year, it's exceptional.
Another fine score by Gallant, and there he is blocking off the runner out of defence zone. Healy tugs back the jersey. No, it's a free in. Another change coming in for Mary Immaculate College. Evine Kelly of Offaly. And going off is the goal scorer Gary Cooney. And what a goal it was as well. That coming early in the game. In fact, their first score of the game was a goal. Gallant. Good score by Gallant. One you'd expect him to get, but you still have to put them over. Jamie Wall having a quick chat there with Gary Cooney, who appeared to be holding his left leg. Maybe he's picked up a bit of a strain, but he's played well today.
Gary Cooney's been an exceptional outlet ball for the Mary I boys. You know, when anyone's getting on a ball and there's not much else going on, the shot isn't on. Gary Cooney's making himself available all the time outside for that outlet ball, and just had an exceptional game today again.
Trying to escape is Heffernan. He does well, gets it up to Brian Everard. Is this the goal that they need? No, he couldn't get it in hand. Shane Cummins, he was being stuck to there by the defender, David Prendergast, I think it was. And it will be a puck out for Owen Cahill. They're about 10 minutes behind in the other game between LIT and NUI Galway. 2-8 LIT, 1-11 NUI Galway, latest score. Back out it goes to Monaghan. Monaghan trying to find Guilfoyle, doesn't find him, might fall for Philip Hickey. Philip Hickey dissects the post. Ten between them, it would take a miracle. But miracles happen in sports, and here's Andrew Coffey, who wins the free.
It's probably the first time that Thomas Grimes has put a foot wrong there today. You know, I've been really impressed with him. He's tracking back. His use of the ball inside there has been exceptional. You know, he's covered a lot of ground here today, and it's just been super impressed with him.
Stephen Farrell has just slipped on for Mary I. Josh Buzang. Gone off is Colin O'Brien. Buzang hits it wide. Cahill going long. It's intercepted. It's a fine catch. Good take on the run. It's Coffey. But it's a bad ball and it's easily intercepted. Brian Buckley trying to take it was Farrell. Pulls on it and might create something here. Sean Burke A little bit loose with the arms there, and there's a little bit of afters. Owen Healy taking the line ball. Healy doesn't catch it. Does get it back though. Healy inside. Good take. Trying to escape is Ender Heffernan. William Hurley. David Prendergast out in front again. And just kind of covers enough for his centre back Darren Brown to run onto it. Brown had Brian Buckley screaming for it. Instead he went direct and just gives it away. Here's Coffey again. William Hurley got onto it there. He was partially smothered. The referee says play on. He really has let this one flow. That's a little bit loose there from CIT's Kevin Duggan, and it will be a free to Mary Immaculate.
Looking on at the work rate of Mary Immaculate, we're looking at 59 and a half minutes gone, and the Mary Immaculate crowd, there's 4 and 5 around them, and at all times, around any CIT player, their work rate has just been through the roof. And these boys, they're clearly showing there today that they want this, because it's just been exceptional to watch. The CIT haven't had a second on the ball to think about what they're going to do before they're shut down by this Mary I crowd.
Galan drops deep to take this one. What a fine performance he's put in today. Galan from inside his own half. Collins deals with it. It's a little bit heavy for Daniel Harrington, but he does regather. As we go into the injury time, there shouldn't be too much of this. Don't remember too many stoppages. Trying to trickle his way through is Kelly. Kelly's done really well. Kelly! Hooked. Good defending. To be fair to Cork Institute of Technology, even though they've been well beaten here, they haven't given up. They've kept working all day.
No, never given up. You see there, look, a diving tackle to get in that final hook. The game nearly petering out at this stage, but to get back in and get that hook, super work by that CIT defence.
Grimes back to Brown. Grimes wants it back. Brown again goes long. It's real old school stuff, isn't it? Just hit it long and let the forwards win it.
It is, and he has half back lines there open for it. If they're looking to progress on this competition, they're going to need to look to use that ball more in the half back line like they were in the first half.
Galan inside for the onrushing Luke Mead. Mead, who's done an awful lot of work in defence, is on attack. Mead! That is an absolute screamer! And that is very much the icing on the cake. Mary Immaculate College are on their way to the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup semi-finals, and in some style.
What a finish by Luke Mead there. Showed that Sean Kavanagh sidestep that I was talking about in the first half again. But what a ball from Aaron Galan, to pick him out there as he was running through. Not many players would have seen that.
I don't envy your fellow Limerick defenders facing up to that during the summer. Luke Mead with a beautiful swivel, 2:19 to 12 points. And from start to finish, I think it's fair to say, Seamus Flanagan, Mary Immaculate College were the better team.
They were. Look, you're looking down at. We were looking down here in the first half. They just couldn't shake them off, and towards the start of the second half as well, it was the very same. They couldn't just shake them off. But there towards the end, that Luke Mead goal really put the icing on the cake. But fair play to that CIT team. They were on the side of it, and they fought right to the end. We saw with that final hook and kept knocking over scores. Maybe if they'd been more clinical in the first half, and with the freeze in the second half, it might have been a closer game. But look, fair play to them. It was an absolutely cracking game, and Mary are going to be a tough opposition for whoever they play in the semi-finals.
Mary Immaculate College 2:19, Cork Institute of Technology 12 points. That's the final score from this Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup quarter-final. Mary I on the way to the semis, and it's hard to see them being beaten, but there's some very good teams left in this competition, and a couple of them are playing right now, and there's more tonight. We will have more analysis in a few moments. Stay with us.
Some moments teach you all you need to know about yourself. The Electric Ireland GAA Minor Championships. This is major.
Welcome back to pitchside here at Mary Immaculate College in Limerick. Full time in this game, and Mary Immaculate College have cruised through to the semi-finals of the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup. Seamus Flanagan, you can just see him coming into shot there, and the rain is falling down, so we do need these umbrellas. We're grateful to have them. Seamus, by far and away, Mary I the better team today.
They were. Look, you know, from the very get-go, Mary, you could see that they were on top all over the pitch and just couldn't seem to put that CIT team away. But you know, towards the end there, that Luke Mead goal really capped things off for them, and you know, very impressed all over the pitch with Mary.
Luke Mead did most of his work in defence for the game and then popped up when he knew it was on. That's just instinctive. You can't breathe that into a hurler, can you?
No, you can't teach that kind of stuff. You know, I was saying above in the commentary there that it seemed to be Luke Mead that was sitting back and it was Thomas Monaghan that was pushing on. But there towards the end of the game, you could see Luke Mead. He could sense that there was goals on, and you know, to get yourself into that position, you know, it's an exceptional trait to have.
Okay, well, we'll get more from you in just a moment. We're going to try and get some reaction if we possibly can from both sides, especially Mary Immaculate College, because they're through to the semi-finals. They're competing for this competition again. This is live TV at its best, so you've got to just look around and see where everyone is. Jamie Wall is over there. We'll get to him in just a second. But Seamus, what do you think Cork IT will be feeling right now? Because although Mary I were by far and away the better team, they did hang in for a long time, and if they were able to work a goal, who knows what might have happened.
Yeah, you know, the CIT team, they probably will feel a bit hard done by, you know, they'll be kind of kicking themselves that they didn't have enough, they didn't have more, you know, composure when they were shooting on goal. But, you know, by far and away, as you were saying, Mary I the better team and deserved the winners of today's game.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk to Jamie Wall in just a moment. He's making his way over to us now. Jamie, well done to you and your team today. Congratulations, you're through to the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup semi-final. The rain is falling down here. We're looking up here. We're live on Electric Ireland's social media channels and GA now. Listen, you must be absolutely delighted with your team's performance.
Yeah, very happy. Just solid team performance, particularly against the Breeze. That first 10-15 minutes we thought we played very well, kind of played to our standard. Dropped off a small bit, I think, just before half time. We had to kind of maybe have a go there, and I think even the first 5-6 minutes of the second half we still let them have a kind of foothold. But look, they are a good team and we have to be aware of that. You know, you can't dominate a game from start to finish, you never will. So I suppose it's just a case of digging in and getting going again and just winning our few frees, winning our ball, and that's what the boys did, so we're very happy.
That goal at the start kind of set the tone. You never really look back after that.
Yeah, definitely. And look, it was something that we looked to target, I think, from day one. Was just there was a lot of space inside, and you know, when you have the players that we have, you try to play to your strengths, and you know, again, that's what we did. Gary is such a strong kind of player on the ball, and I suppose we'd be foolish not to try and use them players. So it's all about, you know, them lads and them setting an agenda and them setting a tone, and that's what they did.
Your use of the ball was really impressive today, which is, I suppose, when you think about it, like, very good, because you mightn't get a whole pile of time to train with these lads. It's not like you can kind of imprint the muscle memory on them. So how do you achieve that when you don't get to work with them a whole pile?
Yeah, exactly. Well, like you said, we don't get to do an awful lot with them, so I think it'd be a bit remiss of me to try and take any credit for it. Look, they're very good players is the key of it. You know, they're very good players, and I suppose you try to give them a structure and at the same time give them a freedom to play what they see then in front of them. When you have the calibre of player that we have, they're invariably going to use the ball very well, which is what they did, and you know, that's what we're very happy with. That's how we want them to play, and then it's up to them to execute, and they do. Invariably, they generally do.
Talk to me about Luke Mead. We were talking about how he did most of his work in defence throughout the game, but then when it was on, when he smelled blood, he went for it, and what a goal he got towards the end there.
Yeah, look, Luke's a super player. He'd be from a neighbouring club to me at home, and we're really well used to him driving the dagger into our back as well. So Luke is a super player. He knows where the posts are. He's one of these guys. He's kind of the modern half forward midfielder at intercounty level, where he does a lot of work sweeping up and getting on ball, but he has to be able to finish too. You know, you look at Limerick, they've set a baseline with that. Luke is the same, Colm Galvin, these kind of players, and that's the calibre of player he's in. He's been doing that now for 3 years with us at Fitzgibbon level, so it's nothing that we're surprised with.
And one thing that is really noticeable from this Mary I side, and it's something that we've been talking about throughout the game, throughout the campaign, teams being kind of first-class rivals, and when we say that, guys from other counties who are rivals and on the county scene, but who are friends here and who are playing together here with the kind of common goal of an Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup, you seem to have achieved that balance. Guys are really working well off each other.
Yeah, definitely. And look, that's the nature of a small college. It's something that we, there's lots of disadvantages. We try to play to our advantages. I mean, you saw the carry on today. I think, in general, there's a nice atmosphere around GA and the college. It's a very tight community. It's very small. It's kind of the freshers know the Fitz lads, they're all pals. You have brothers going here. My brother's in first year, Aaron Gillan's brother's in first year. That's the kind of nature of the college that we have. There's that club-like feel and that's what we try to play to. And I think, that invariably comes to fruition on the pitch then.
And there really is a good atmosphere around here. Just before I let you go, an interesting kind of dynamic between you and some of the Cork IT management. Timmy Murphy and Ross Cashman. Ross is getting married. You're his groomsman. Tim is his best man. That's an interesting dynamic. Will you be talking again by the time the wedding happens on Fitzgibbon Cup final weekend?
Please God. Well, look, it was my job. Joanne, Rossi's bride-to-be, told me my job was to make sure they weren't in the Fitzgibbon final.
You've done your job.
So I've done my job for the wedding now. I'm free. I don't have to make any speeches or drive anyone around. So I'm happy enough, and I'm sure Joanne is as well. But we'll have a good bit of crack with the boys now. There'll be no harm.
Jamie, well done today. Best of luck in the semi-final. I'm not sure who you have yet because there's a couple of games going on as we speak, and there's 2 tonight as well. Yeah, Jamie, well done. Fantastic display by your team. There we go. We'll catch you soon. Jamie Wall, fantastic manager of Mary Immaculate College. What an atmosphere around the college today. Rag week in the college, which no doubt added to it, but the style of play that they impose and the way that they go about their business is just really impressive. Seamus Flanagan, before I let you go, I think Jamie spoke really well there about how they get such good performances out of this team.
Yeah, Jamie just said it there, and we were saying before the game, a small college like this, it's crucial. They have a kind of family mentality here, and you can it just goes to show, what you can do with that kind of mentality here. The crowds that they bring out here, and you can be assured that those crowds will travel to those semi-finals as well. And depending on who they get, I don't think Mary are going to fear anyone left in this competition.
Okay, for now, Seamus Flanagan, thank you very much for joining us. That's it for our live coverage of the Electric Ireland Fitzgibbon Cup quarterfinals. Mary Immaculate College, in the end, cruising through, I guess you'd have to say, against Cork Institute of Technology. But for a long while, CIT hung on in there, and if they could have got a goal, maybe it would have changed the course of this game. But those are all ifs, buts and maybe. So Mary I march on. There'll be highlights of this available very shortly on the Electric Ireland social media channels, and of course GA Now, and through the HEGA social media channels. You'll also be able to catch up on everything else that's going on across the day, because there's 3 other quarterfinals, one of them going on at the moment, LIT taking on NUI Galway. We'll keep you updated on that through Twitter. And also tonight we've got TU Dublin City Campus, the artist formerly known as DIT, up against DCU Dokashare, and UCC also in action. They're hosting IT Carlow at the Mardite. Those all promise to be great games. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to you, Seamus, for helping us along, and thanks to all the crew and the college staff who helped make this broadcast happen. We will see you soon. Take care.